Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my March 2021 favourites. I've got a couple of new things, couple of things I was already loving, some skincare as well that I'm going to share with you guys. But first off, I think I'll start with base products. So the first thing that I've been loving, and probably the one item I've used the most out of the month of March, is the Maybelline SuperStay Active Wear 30 Hour Foundation. My shade is 36 Warm Sun. I love this, you guys. I love it. I love it. I love it. There is not a single negative thing I can say about this, which is the reason why I've been using it almost every single day, and I've probably finished about half of it. Now for a YouTuber, that is a lot for a new foundation to get through half within a space of I don't know how many weeks since I bought it. It does not move, it's matte. I'm doing this because I'm wearing it on my face. It feels soft, velvety, it's absolutely gorgeous. It barely transfers, it smooths out the skin, it doesn't emphasize texture, full coverage, lasts up until I go to sleep. It looks fresh on my face. There is nothing that I don't love about this, and that's the reason why this is the top favorite. Another foundation is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Luminous Matte Foundation. My shade is in 320G Leches. I love this as well, definitely not as much as the other one, and I bought this before that one, so that's the reason why this has kind of been bumped to the side slightly. But it's an amazing full coverage foundation, so much better than the original one. Every single issue there was with the original one has been erased for this new updated reformulated version. It barely transfers off the skin, it's full coverage, it does not emphasize texture like the previous one used to on me. It doesn't look like a mask like the previous one used to as well. They removed the fragrance, so many people now will not have a reaction to it, because there were many people with the original one that got breakouts as a result of the fragrance. So I love this as well. Another foundation, which is one that came out towards the end of March, is the Fenty Beauty Ease Drops Blurring Skin Tint. My shade is in number 10. This is probably one of my favorite Fenty Beauty base products. Now the other ones have been okay, but they've always had issues with whatever it may be. Didn't sit well on my skin, was too oily, came off. I think this one performs a lot better than all the previous counterparts. It is a light to medium coverage foundation. I tend to use it on the more medium side because obviously I'm a full coverage gal, and I think it sits beautifully on the skin. It barely transfers as well. It does not break down on my skin. I powder it, set it. I've got normal to combination skin, so I don't generally tend to get oily in areas other than my T-zone, but I find that this sits really nicely on the skin. It blurs out the skin, making it look almost flawless, but still retains the natural texture of your skin underneath, kind of shining through, and it gives a really nice kind of satiny matte sort of finish. So I really like this as well. Let's move on to some concealers now. Now this one, which was gifted to me a few weeks ago, I want to say maybe December, January, is the Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer, and my shade is in 2W. I like this. This is a medium coverage concealer, which I generally don't tend to go for. I'm more of a full coverage gal, as you guys know. However, I found that on those days when I want to go with a little bit more of a lighter hand, a more natural kind of finish, especially if I am using something which is medium coverage like this skin tint, then I will go in with a concealer like this. I like the way that this sits on the skin. It glides under the skin. As long as I set it, I find minimum creasing as well. So I'm very happy for this to be used, especially during the spring summer months when it's a little bit warmer and you don't necessarily want as much full coverage. Not that I don't love my full coverage. We've got the Born This Way by Too Faced, the multi-use sculpting concealer. Again, I just can't get enough of this. I love it so much. Mine's in the shade Golden Beige. Full coverage, creamy, easy to blend, barely moves, looks amazing under the eyes. I love it. Another concealer of mine, which is actually one of my holy grails, and I recently repurchased this because I just hadn't done in a while, is the Nabla Cosmetics Close Up Concealer. My shade is in Golden Beige. I love this, and it smells like coconut water. I love it. This is probably the most creamiest one that I've got, but still nice and emollient, blends under the eyes easily. It doesn't actually take me that long to blend this out as it may do with other concealers. Sometimes when it comes to a full coverage concealer, because it's more thick, it can take longer to blend, and it's also more likely to crease because of the fact that the texture is so thick. I find this texture to be quite malleable and easy to blend under the eyes. The coverage is excellent, the smell is beautiful, and I absolutely love this. One powder to show you guys, this is a new purchase from me. I've never tried this before. Is the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder Under Eye and Face. My shade is in number 2, Fair Stroke Medium. I do find it sits more on the fair side because it's kind of, it's really messy. I don't like the inside. I know it says It's for fair medium, but I would say that this is more fair because it's not banana-y or yellowy. It's kind of whitish. I actually think that I got sent one which is slightly gone off, because it's got that gone off kind of smell, Charlotte. For God's sake, these things ain't cheap, you know. It's got like a hint of, ooh, it's got like a hint of perfume to it, but then a hint of perfume that's gone off. So I really think that this came from the bottom of the warehouse. But that regardless, thankfully it still works perfectly fine. I've used it to set my under eye area. If you've got deeper skin than me, I would definitely stay away from this shade. I'm going to look and see if I can get any other shade in this range. But overall it performs really nicely. It's very finely milled. It's just the scent to me is quite off-putting, because I do know what the smell of powder that has gone off smells like, and that's what this smells like. I've got a new brow pencil to share with you guys. Well, I think I shared it in last month's favourites. But for once, it's not the It Cosmetics brow power that you're so used to seeing. This is the Huda Beauty Bomb Brows eyebrow pencil. The best eyebrow pencil I have ever used, hands down. However, the issue is with this is that there's hardly any product in it, which is why it's so cheap. And surprise, surprise, this is my second one already, and I bought it because it was 20% off with Boots, and my other one finished in less than a month. Let's see how much of this I've actually got left. Let's keep going. Bear in mind, I've only used it 3-4 times. Look at that. You can see it in front of my face. That's all that's left. Huda, man. See, I got so excited thinking it was so cheap, but there's a reason. There's not that much product in it. That aside, it does not transfer, it does not move, it does not budge. It's got an incredibly, incredibly thin pencil on here as well. One of the thinnest I've ever come across. And as a result of that, I can get into them tiny little bits on my eyebrows without having to worry about accidentally overdrawing them and that sort of thing. This is excellent quality, and I really hope that they come out with another version of this, but with more product inside. Most people cannot afford to go and buy this again and again and again. Do you know what I mean? It's expensive considering how often you would have to repurchase it. My Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid eyeliner should be of no surprise. I'm using it today. Have been using it for months, years now, even ever since this came out. It's black, super black, intense. It doesn't fade, it doesn't crack, it doesn't smudge, it doesn't bleed. One layer is enough to get thick, black, opaque coverage. It's got a nice and easy to use bendy felt tip nib on the end, so you can easily bend it to the contours of your eye. And this has been a favourite since God knows how long, and it continues to be. I know I've shown this one in the past, but this is a more recent purchase. I think when I bought that powder. The Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder, such a long name, in shade number 2 medium. This is like my third or fourth. I absolutely love it. It's definitely one that I repurchased because it's so good. Now obviously it's expensive. How much is it? Like £35? But it's so worth the money. You don't have to use loads of it for it to set your foundation beautifully. It's very finely milled as well, so a little bit goes a really long way. It doesn't interfere with your foundation. It sets it nicely, leaves your skin nice and smooth, ready for application of further powder products on top. The Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter in the shade Ice Cold is another one which I've continuously been loving for the past 2 months since I bought it. It is a beautiful ice gold shade. I know it's called Ice Cold, but the shade I would call is Ice Gold. It's what I'm wearing right now on my cheekbones and other areas of my face that I tend to highlight. The quality is excellent. It's a metallic high shine highlighter, but it's not glittery, so it doesn't emphasize texture in that kind of way. The quality itself is really nice. It's nice and smooth to the touch, shows up beautifully. A little bit goes a really long way. This is a universally flattering shade as well, so it will go with all skin tones as well as all skin types. I know it came out at the end of March, but I may as well show it to you guys now because I've been continuously loving the brand new Huda Beauty Brown Obsessions eyeshadow palettes. I'm wearing one on my eyes today. The caramel brown one is probably the one that I use the most. Absolutely love it. This is what I'm using. I'm using this orangey gold shade on my lid, and I'm using some of the other orange shades on my brow bone area and as transitional shades. Quality is excellent, cannot fault them at all. And then the next favourite of mine is definitely the Toffee one that I use quite a bit as well. This yellow in the middle is such a beautiful shade. It's like a gorgeous kind of mustard shade. And this one in the corner is like a butterscotch kind of colour. Really reminds me of that shade by MAC. I can't remember, Uninterrupted is it called, or something along those those lines. It was a classic back in the day, but I love the quality of this as well. The colors are absolutely gorgeous. And then we've got the chocolate brown one as well. I tend to actually use the matte shades more in this than the shimmery shades. I find the shimmery shades, especially these two, quite dark. And even though I like shimmer to be quite bright and a bit lighter. I don't really like dark shimmer all the time because it can swallow my eyes because of the kind of shape of eyes that I've got. But overall, the quality of this is excellent as well. Right, let's move on to some lip products, all of which are new, very exciting. I've got two of the Maybelline SuperStay Matte Inks. For those of you who are not aware, Maybelline's SuperStay Matte Inks are my favorite liquid lipsticks from the drugstore. I realized I didn't have these two shades, so I had to have them to add to my collection. I wear them all the time, by the way. They are some of the most comfortable liquid lipsticks on the market. They do have a slight tackiness to them. They never completely dry down, and that's the reason why they stay so comfortable. I can literally put them on at like 9 o'clock in the morning and 9 o'clock in the evening. They're still there, still fresh, not faded, not moved, not budged, not smudged, anything. Looks fresh. Two colors that I got were this one here called Shot Caller, which is a beautiful kind of pinky red sort of color, amazing on deep and medium skin tones. And then this one here, which is called Innovator, is a kind of rusty, deepish kind of orange color. Again, will look amazing against all skin tones. Those of you that very kindly watched my Korean lip tints video, I know not all of you did, this is from that video. This is from the brand called Hamish, and it is their Varnish Velvet Lip Tint, and the shade is in Dry Rose. This is amazing. I love it. It performs like a liquid lipstick, but not. It's got such a beautiful fresh kind of scent, and it glides across the lips like water. It feels cold like water. It doesn't move throughout the day. It definitely gives your lips that hint of color, that extra hint of color. It's almost like your lips but better, but obviously your lips are not in the color of Dry Rose, which is almost like a reddish pink sort of color. It performs beautifully. It doesn't move throughout the day, doesn't crack, doesn't smudge, doesn't budge. For those of you that like liquid lipsticks but don't necessarily like how full on they can be, this is an alternative that will look really nice and feel a lot more comfortable too. One more liquid lipstick, and it's the only one of dose of colors I think I've got left. I think that I threw them all out in my decluttering video, and this is the liquid matte lipstick in the shade called Extra Saucy. This is a beautiful deep red shade with a hint of pink to it. I find that reds with a hint of pink look amazing against medium skin tones. It just flatters your natural yellow undertones a lot better than other reds. I like the way that this performs as well. Now, don't get me wrong, something like this performs a lot better than these. I do find these to be slightly drying, but they're still a lot better quality than, for example, something like Anastasia Beverly Hills, whose lipsticks I haven't bought in ages because of the fact that I find them so drying and they actually make my lips feel suffocated. My lips still feel very comfortable wearing these. However, towards the end of the day, I know it's fading around the edges, and then it does start to get all crumply and a bit gross, so you have to apply some lip balm. But generally speaking, this is a really nice color with good quality. Let's now move on to some skincare items. Oh my god, this, you guys, is like literally at the bottom. There's a tiny bit left. My Isntree Hyaluronic Acid Water Essence. I love it. Now, for those of you that are unaware because you don't follow me on Instagram, firstly, you should, because I update there every day. Whenever I buy new products, I show them on there. I talk about all kinds of stuff, whether it be South Asians, culture, religion, misogyny, patriarchy, women's rights. I'm all for women. Women supporting women is the way that it should always be, but I also tend to share a lot of skincare and things that I've got up and coming in my videos, and maybe some partnerships and sponsorships that I may be doing. Basically, I'm using retinol, which is tretinoin, on my skin. Most people that tend to use tretinoin get really dry, flaky, or horrible looking skin as their skin rejuvenates itself. Not me. How have I managed to get away with having perfectly soft skin? Bear in mind, this is now week 3 since I've been using it. No flakies at all. And because I knew that, I went in hard with the skincare. And this is one of the products that's been saving me. I've raved about this in the past. It contains 8 types of hyaluronic acid. It's a moisturizing essence for dry skin. Now, I don't have dry skin. I've got normal to combination skin. However, knowing that that was going to happen, I made sure that I continued to use this. I use this every morning. It soaks into the skin beautifully. My skin feels like velvet. I noticed how my skin changed after the first use. This is absolutely excellent as a hydrating serum, and it sinks into the skin beautifully, making sure that that it stays supple, soft and plump. The product that I've been using, and it feels like it's nearly finished, is by the brand called Hyaluronic, which I've done a video of before. They're a brand that has a lot of natural skincare. The majority of the ingredients are completely natural, and this is one of those. This is their Centella Calming Gel Cream, and I use this every day after I have used this. I use this in the morning. This contains 70% of Centella Asiatica leaf water and 10% tea tree leaf water, and it is for calming the skin and for blemishes and that sort of thing as well. It is a gel cream, so meaning it is a gel. It blends into the skin beautifully, sinks into the skin. It's not greasy or anything like that, and once this has soaked into my skin, I go in with this, then my SPF. Another item that I've been using is this mask from the brand called I'm From, and this is their honey mask. This contains 38.7% pure honey. This is a hydrating mask, and I'll just show it to you in the inside. Ew, look at that. You know what? People are so used to seeing the way that products and ingredients look when they've been processed and chemicals added in, that they really forget what things look like in their more natural form. This smells so good. Smells like real honey, and I love this. It's a great moisturizing mask. This keeps my skin very nicely nourished and hydrated. Yes, it is very thick in texture. It does not dry down on the face at all. You do have to wash it off. It's a wash off mask. Contains various other amazing natural ingredients, so for those of you that have got really dry skin or just have skin that needs a bit of love, you will definitely love this. This is a bit of a bougie product. This is not cheap by any means, and I do not use it every single day. I use this 2 to 3 times a week. A little bit goes a really long way, and I actually use one of those skincare brushes to apply it rather than stick my fingers in and make it all gross. But I absolutely love this. Last skincare product I'm going to share with you guys is this one here from the brand Fresh Cosmetics. This is the Sugar Caramel Hydrating Lip Balm. I just have to open it to smell it. It smells like freshly baked goods. Absolutely love it. Look how much I love it. Okay, I bought this about 6 weeks ago. So this is after daily nighttime use after 6 weeks. It hydrates my lips, it moisturizes my lips, it makes them soft, plump, juicy. They smell amazing. I absolutely love this. The only downside to this is because of the fact that it's so emollient, it is finishing a lot quicker than I would have liked, and it is on the slightly pricier side. However, when it comes to skincare, your girl don't get cheap, because at the end of the day, we've only got one face, and if you're going to be cheap about it, I'd rather be cheap with lipstick, you know, I'd rather be cheap with eyeliner. But when it comes to skincare, only today I think Fresh have announced their luxury brand. And I was like, these are already luxury prices. Their mask is something like $400. I was like, wow. But I will definitely never go that far. However, when it comes to other kinds of skincare, I will not scrimp and save. I will definitely go all out. And this has been so worth it as well, especially considering its ingredients. I've been going all out with this one just because I love the way that it feels and the way that my lips look when I wake up in the morning. So that's it for my March 2021 beauty favorites. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.